2nd and 3.
Quite well, and big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
They go play action now. Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Tannehill. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a second down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Bravo!
On first down, it's Tannehill. He's going deep for Brown. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Hollywood Marquise Brown. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Kamale Correa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. An NFL update, second quarter now in Jacksonville. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
Hey, Charlie!
On first down, Tannehill. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Tannehill now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. He finds a rookie from Iowa, T.J. Hockenson. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Big stop, let's go.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. On first down, Coleman. Room to run again. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
On the ready.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Looking to throw again on second down. Tannehill. He's going to air one out. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Tannehill on first down. He's got White here. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And the Vikings pick up the football. It's a foot race. He's at the 30, 20, 10, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead. So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half, they give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind. Big-time fumble. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 17-14. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope. Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Jackson to throw again. finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Jackson now, a woeful 5 of 17 thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10 here. Here's Jackson. He's airing it out for Williams. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Mike Williams hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Lutz with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10.
Rock it. There. Shoot.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Got it.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up second and 12 at the 34-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Tannehill. He's going deep for Brown. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got it at the 15. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Andy Isabella. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Lutz good on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Hey, we got 3 out.
You're out.
Check 24.
Yo, get it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tannehill. He's going deep for Brown. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Troy Apke. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 65 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Mike Williams, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Tannehill. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A well-executed 22-yard gain. To throw is Tannehill. And he's going to be hit and taken down on the 48-yard line. Linval Joseph forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Tannehill. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 30. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Jackson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Vikings. Jakeem Grant, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Check. 3 down, 3 down.
5. Hit it.
From the 50, it's Tannehill. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Tight end right.
Hey, echo.
3 down.
2.
Throwing again is Tannehill. Going up top for Miller. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hey, I'm coming. Hey, what? Look, smoke. Check, Mike. 50.
Jackson from the shotgun.
Here we go again.
Buying time to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Everson Griffin, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd down and 12. Flushed out right. This is Coleman with the ground. And he will not get what he needed as he stopped short of the 1st down at around the 22. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and we have reached the 2-minute warning.
Ready.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target.
Bravo. Get it.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain, and it's 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Aaron Lynch in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001.
Go.
3rd and long, it's Tannehill. The catch made by Miller. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Tannehill. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Strong right. Strong right. Strong right.
Leo.
He's coming. He's coming.
Hey, lock it.
You got double up. Double up.
Hey.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety.
Ready.
One last throw here for Tannehill. And my goodness, another interception. Sua Cravens with a pick. And that will write a finish to this ball game. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Bears, this loss will mean they finish the season right at 500 at 8-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You could see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. And up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change.